Welcome back to Mississauga and the Hershey Center for what could be the final game of the OHL season. Time to check in on our starting goaltenders. Leading the way for Guelph in his 20th appearance tonight. He leads the postseason and wins the 19-year-old from Toronto, Adam Dennis. And at the other end, one of the most highly touted young goaltenders in the country, David Chance, leads the OHL playoffs in average save percentage and shutouts with 5. And John Druce, he has seen a ton of rubber in the first 3 games, all won by the Guelph Storm. Our referee is Brad Beer. Joe Celestin and Brent Holdsworth will work the lines in this very resilient Mississauga bunch, and what an outstanding job the likes of Greg Gilbert, Kenny Cook, their owner Mario Forgione have done to turn this program around to the point where they're competing for a league title.
And just to think, 2 years ago they only had 11 wins under their belt after the regular season, and now they're in the finals.
See how they deal with a very solid Guelph team that surprised many when they knocked the heavily favored London Knights off in 7 games to win the Western Conference title. An opportunity. Brett Trudell going to the net, deflects it in on the goaltender, and Chance hangs on.
Sean Camp's going to be very happy with the team, the way his team came out in this first shift, getting to the net. He was not happy after the performance in Guelph. He wants his team to have better transition, get in on the puck, get a lot of forecheck early in this game. It's very important because Mississauga's first period is their strongest period.
Mississauga losers in Guelph the other night by a count of 6-4, but they really battled the Storm from start to finish and probably played their best period in the opening frame in Game 3. Jacob Carice, what a story he's been in the postseason with 8 goals. On the ice with Cam Jansen and Kyle Spur. Carice using that big 6'3" frame, tied up by Patrick O'Sullivan, keeps the puck moving. Carice will slide it down low to find Jansen. Jansen takes a heavy hit from Kyle Quincy. Guelph with some early forechecking pressure in the game's opening minute, trying to close it out and win Guelph's first OHL title since they captured the crown back in 1998. Carice continues to cycle down low with Jansen and Spur, the former St. Mike's Major. Nice move by Spur towards Carice. He'll try and slide it in front. Quincy is there to shut it down. What a shift from this line. Carice, one more time, Spur to the net. Another chance, and Chance got a right pad on the low shot by Carice. As Chance trouble to get up, and the IceDogs are able to clear it down the ice.
Well, this is the type of pressure that this line continually uses game in, game out. Kyle Spur, Jansen, Carice, these 3 guys are big, strong players, are willing to sacrifice the battery down low. This puck in front was kicked by Spur. Carice comes and gets a rebound. They just can't finish. This is the type of line that grinds teams down over the long haul.
And John, I think that line's success, especially Carice, and what Jansen has added since he came over in a deadline day trade from Windsor, has made a huge difference in this team's run to being within 1 win of capturing the title. Ryan on the end boards, Matt Ryan. Watched closely by Anthony Butera. Paille and Mark Versteeg Litwin, his line mates. Litwin lets it go. Paille jamming away at it. Litwin trying his own luck as well, and Chance been very busy to continue the series trend in the opening 2:10 of this first frame.
Well, Guelph is continuing to put pressure in front of the net area, getting the puck to the net. The key for this team is puck possession in the offensive end of the ice. Sean Camp has instituted that, but Chance comes up very big with the second glove save on Litwin. Paille had the initial shot. Litwin comes in and gets a second shot. This goaltender has faced so much rubber, it's incredible. 125 to 52 shots against in the first 3 games.
Rated number 2 at the mid-season rankings by NHL Central Scouting amongst North American goaltenders. Performed at the Prospects game in London back in January.
Well, this is not the start that Greg Gilbert anticipated. He liked the way his team came out in game number 3. What he preaches to his team is get the puck down deep, get in their face, and try to create some turnovers with aggressive forechecking. They're going to get chances because they play a solid defensive game, but they've been stuck in their end of the ice this whole first 3 minutes of the first period, which is not good for that team right now.
Martin St. Pierre comes out with Trudell and Callahan. St. Pierre leads all OHL postseason scorers, 34 points, and he recorded 9 points in the all-important series triumph over the London Knights. Puck loose in front, going toward the front of the net. Pinchot, it deflected over top of the cage. Mississauga with its first good opportunity. Trudell working one-on-one with Ryan Stokes. Trudell slides it. Abraham intercepts and finds Chris Curran. Curran and Pinchot. Chad Pinchot. Curran has a man in the slot. It's Abraham. It goes off his skate to the corner. Cody Bass, the youngster, knocked down as the puck cleared by St. Pierre back to the Mississauga blue line. Curran chips it ahead, runs into Kevin Klein, and what a postseason that Canadian national junior team member has enjoyed. Curry drops it for Klein. And Cam Jansen, the New Jersey draft pick for Curry's, tipped away from Spur at the line as Rudisella will chip it in. Klein back in his own zone, 10 postseason goals already. He only scored 6 during the regular campaign. Paille drops in Ryan. Ryan, a quick snapshot that didn't miss by much. Klein, he'll tee it up through a screen. It was blocked in front. Paille, he spins and fires. They score! Matt Ryan banks it in. Off chance, and there's a lot of Guelph supporters in the house. The Storm lead it less than 4 minutes in. It's 1-0.
Well, this has been a storm, literally, in the offensive zone for this team. Getting in on top is Chance. Simple. Get the puck to the net and have traffic out front, and it pays off. The rebound is not cleared. Cahill does not get the puck away from the crease area, does not look behind him, and Matt Ryan is the recipient of a loose puck because there's a weak play trying to clear it from the crease area. Chance doesn't cover it. There's miscommunication. Matt Ryan comes in, gets his 7th goal of the playoff.
Matt Ryan, the 20-year-old from Sharon, Ontario, with his 2nd goal in as many games. As John Druce mentioned, his 7th of the postseason. And the Storm, with the start they had hoped for, they opened the scoring. Puck sent down the ice. At this point, we'd like to extend a warm welcome to our viewers from Rogers Television watching this game for the OHL Championship Series throughout all the local markets in Ontario. Nice to have you with us tonight.
Well, Matt Ryan jumped in 42 goals during the regular season. He's contributing in all aspects. He's solid on the power play, shorthanded. Right there, he gets his team on the board early. Very important to get a first goal in this series.
Klein and Paille draw the assists as Klein shot right on from the blue line. And John, what can you say about Kevin Klein, who now has 21 points during the playoffs?
The amazing thing about Klein is the way he is disciplined and confident at the point. He gets the puck through to the middle of the ice, doesn't panic, and he knows he has traffic going to the net. Matt Ryan finds a loose puck because everybody is converging to the net. The defensemen know what the forwards are going to do.
Matt Ryan, 2nd of the series at .351. Klein one more time. Look at that confidence. He'll snap it. Chance through a screen. Stopped it. It's still loose and now cleared to the boards. The Storm can smell a trip to Kelowna. They're 1 win away. Adam Abraham, what a future for this first-year defenseman. Can't clear. Girardi with Trudell going to the net. Klein will race over to hold it in. His snapshot is blocked, and now it's O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan! And it's blown down on the offside. Opportunity for Patrick O'Sullivan, but just offside. And O'Sullivan would have loved an opportunity on the breakaway to draw his team even. Chris Comenti, in his first year on defense with the IceDogs. Grauweiler takes a bump from Cam Jansen. Tom Zanoski had a great opening round series to Grauweiler. Grauweiler, nice move around Tuomi, but then ran out of real estate. Comenti His shot blocked in front by Ryan Card. And the former Peterborough Pete starts the charge for Matt Ryan. Card going to the net. Ryan a shot. It's loose, but referee Brad Beer loses sight and blows it down. 12-1. The shots on goal early in this one, and a Guelph 1-0 lead.
And Grauweiler, the Swiss-born player, gets a good opportunity going wide because he was using his speed. He scored a shorthanded goal in game number 3 because he was moving his legs. And you can see that the confidence is starting to grow in their young rookie, because when he got the puck, he didn't hesitate, kept his feet going, created an opportunity. The problem is that the turnovers, nobody's following up. Guelph got a good shot at the other end of the net off of the transition.
Grauweiler with 2 goals in the Game 3 loss for Mississauga Monday night in Guelph. Ryan comes out with Littman and Paye, and they have supplied the game's opening goal. Cody Bass, Curran on the ice along with Chad Paincho. 2 good prospects in Bass, who is not eligible until next year's draft, and Paincho, who's rated number 41 by NHL Central Scouting. He participated in the prospects game and has the puck now. Paincho, a couple of lovely moves as he hits center. Paincho drops it for Cody Bass. His wrist shot blocked by Girardi. Girardi in a battle on the end boards. Curran to help out as it comes loose on the wing, and Paye finds Kevin Klein to mark for Steve Littman. Hops away from Littman, and it's blown down on the icing as the Storm lead it by 1. The Guelph Storm trying to punch their ticket for Kelowna in the MasterCard Memorial Cup. We'll have it all for you right here on Rogers Sportsnet. Our coverage begins Saturday afternoon, May 15th. And in that opening game, the host Kelowna Rockets to face what right now looks like the OHL champions from Guelph. But a long way to go tonight, and who knows in this series against a very resilient Mississauga team.
You don't make it to the OHL finals without going through some growing pains, and they have pride. They're going to want to give it their best effort, although they haven't showed it early in this game.
And they have shown in this postseason they can battle from deficits. They trailed in their second series versus Barrie 3-2 and won that in 7. Won their opening round against Oshawa in 7. And knocked off the favored St. Mike's Majors to earn a berth to this series. Callahan, Ryan Callahan has great speed, goes to the front of the net, but the netminder Shantz helped himself by poking it out of harm's way. Carice on the ice right now with Callahan and Jansen, as Callahan will make his way to the bench, and Kyle Spur will enter the fray. Patrick O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan slides it to the line, put it right on the stick of Spur. Big collision as O'Sullivan maybe takes the worst of that, but somehow comes away with a puck to Mark O'Leary. He's back in the lineup tonight after missing game number 3. Just a youngster. Comenti back for Matt Ryan, 7th of the playoffs from Paye and Klein, have the Storm in front. Bain towards O'Leary, and that is offside at the Guelph line.
Camp Janssen is throwing his weight around, but this team, this Mississauga team, is very versatile. They keep battling back, and against Oshawa it went to 7 games. Zanoski with 7 points. Again, another 7-game series against Barrie. Larry Jarrett had 8 points. Against Toronto, it was a tough series. It was only 6 games, but O'Sullivan, the big gun on the team, 8 points in the series. They've had contributions from different guys, really stepping up throughout this playoff.
12-17 to go in the opening period. Guelph with a 3-0 series lead, trying to close it out and win the J. Ross Robertson Cup. Klein puts on the brakes. Tried to play it ahead for Ryan, but it was tipped by O'Leary, and now comes out to neutral ice. Butera runs into Dan Paye. And Paye struggled offensively in the series versus London. Can you imagine, John, if I would have said to you that Guelph would knock off London with Daniel Paye only contributing 1 goal and 1 assist? But let's not forget, he's an individual that can do a lot of other things for you.
Well, he's a well-rounded, he's what you would call a complete player. He doesn't only score goals, he contributes off the ice, on the ice. There's a reason he wore the C with Team Canada at the World Junior Championships, because he can play every part of the game and he's willing to do it. Some guys are not willing to play different styles. He's willing to do whatever a coach asks from him.
And Paille looking to sign a contract with Buffalo. He was the Sabres' first-round pick back in the year 2002. Ryan Parrott in his rookie season. To the line, Quincy redirected in front by Jarrett, but good save by Adam Dennis. Here's St. Pierre breaking away with Callahan, but good defensive play by Rick Coghill to break it up. Girardi plays it to an open wing. And Coghill steer it, but can't play the puck past Martin St. Pierre. Kyle Quincy, the draft pick of the Detroit Red Wings in the 4th round in 2003. Ryan Parrott from Sioux Lookout, Ontario. He plays it ahead to Carice, and Carice has it stolen by O'Sullivan. This crowd's into it, and one of the big reasons is there might be 500 or 600 supporters of the Guelph Storm in this building this evening, if not more. An opportunity, Carice, and then Jansen headed hop away from him. Pinchot, oh, he can skate in full flight, hard drive, rebound pass, and a tremendous save by Dennis off of Cody Bass. A sensational stop by the first-year netminder. And some pushing and shoving as we're going to have at least one penalty call.
Lots of action for Mississauga, getting the puck to the net. And this is what they want to do. They want to get in the face of the Guelph Storm, throw them off. Guelph has to stay disciplined. Dennis plays a very strong, solid butterfly style. He came across, but the key is how he gets back to the front of the net after he makes his save. You can see him pushing hard with his right leg to try to get over. Good defensive play by Carice, throwing off his man coming down the ice. But Pinchot comes in, gets good opportunities. Every time he's been on the ice, he's created opportunities, playing on a line with Bass and Curran, the three of these guys working hard to try to get things going.
Terrific stops from Adam Dennis. The lone penalty goes to Jacob Carice. So Mississauga with the game's first power play, and they're 0 for 12 so far in this championship series with the manpower advantage. Abraham fails to handle it cleanly. Paille, nice move by Ryan. Matt Ryan snaps it, blocked up by Abraham. Matt Ryan enjoying a tremendous start to this hockey game. O'Sullivan slaps it right on netminder Dennis, leaves it for Klein. Klein finds the opening and makes no mistake. Ryan Stokes, good lead pass, chipped in. Dennis in his second year, his first full year as a starter, left it behind the net. St. Pierre fan, but it was still successful in clearing the zone. Back comes Butera. He'll backhand it in behind the net. 1 minute to go in the penalty to Jacob Carice. Zanoski and Blair Jarrett out there with O'Sullivan. Quincy and Butera to man the points. Quincy, Anthony Butera returns the favor for Butera. Butera, Zanoski, he'll let it go. That hit Klein to the side of the net. Moving in front, Zanoski to the line, and Butera quickly to Quincy. His shot made it through and picked away by the netminder Dennis one more time, and he's looked sharp in the last couple of moments. St. Pierre an opportunity to clear, and he sends it the distance.
Guelph does a tremendous job killing penalties. They're working hard. They're working at an 85% penalty killing rate. They get up ice very quickly and try to shut things down early, but they also have a guy coming back hard through the neutral zone, so there's not too many odd man rushes against.
Card collides with Cody Bass. Rudisella to help out. Comes out in front of the net. Stokes an opportunity. Hits Card as the penalty to Carice has expired. Jacob Carice moving in on right wing. Carice through a screen, and trust me when I tell you, he can shoot it. He scored 2 in the Game 3 victory on Monday. And 2 heavy shots, I might add. Ryan in deep, forechecking. Guelph really buzzing in this opening frame. Girardi to Carice, trying to turn his way from Quincy. Paye. Good defensive effort by Rudisella, and it's chipped off the glass by Zanoski and down the ice. The Guelph Storm in front by a goal. Lots of Guelph Storm supporters in the building, hoping their favorite team can close it out. And I know that they will be watching on Rogers Television tonight in Guelph and area. We'd like to extend a warm welcome to all our viewers on Rogers Television watching this game number 4 of the OHL Championship Series, and hope you're enjoying it wherever you are looking in tonight. Adam Abraham, cross ice, and Chris Curran to Cody Bass. Bass with good speed. He'll play it to the front of the net and nearly banked it off the goaltender Dennis as Curran went charging into him.
It's a nice play, driving wide and getting the puck to the net. You can see he takes a look early. Cody Bass takes it and throws it in front, deflects off the defender's stick, and I think it surprised Dennis a little bit. He expected a good clean pass out in front to pay show, but he had to make the stop. He didn't react too early. He didn't cheat.
Bass was a member of Team Ontario's gold medal winning effort at the World Under-17 Challenge in St. John's, Newfoundland. And boy, has he matured in the second half of this season. Plays a lot defensively, both in a penalty-killing role and against a lot of the other team's top forwards. And he just turned 17 years of age on the 7th of January. Jacob Carice, the Phoenix first-rounder, nearly found spur in behind Abraham. Curran takes a wallet from Jansen, throws his big frame around. Paye to Nico Tuomi, and he'll play it out to neutral ice. Another big collision. Paye to Klein, and now Kevin Klein sends it into IceDog territory. 13-8 now the shots on goal as Mississauga has responded nicely after a tough beginning and a real storm, literally, from Guelph. Daryl Knowles. Knowles will backhand it in. Tuomi plays it on the boards to Mark Versteeg Litwin, and Litwin sends it out to center. Jeremy Whalen chops at it to Daryl Knowles. And the puck belongs to Daniel Girardi, and the former Barrie Colt sends it deep. He's really enjoyed a terrific postseason, as have all of the top 4 defenders on the blue line for the Storm.
And that includes a player like Ryan Carter, who wasn't even a regular last year.
Trudell, an opportunity, and Chance stands his ground. Cam Jansen throwing his weight around in the opening frame. A Leaf supporter, I'm sure in mourning, but still wearing his favorite team's jersey, supporting the IceDogs and the Storm tonight in the OHL Championship Series as Callahan banked it off the outside of the net. I wonder if he did that on purpose. It nearly connected in front of the net with Callahan. St. Pierre to Trudell. Trudell, his shot. Good defensive work by Quincy to get a stick in front of it. Callahan back out with St. Pierre and Trudell, the top forward unit offensively in this postseason for the Storm. Matched against Zanoski, Grauweiler, and Blair Jarrett.
Marty St. Pierre is a key cog on this whole Guelph Storm team, but this line that he plays with Trudell and Callahan, they really complement each other. Trudell is a big power forward. He's going to go up and down, banging the corners. Callahan's going to show speed, handle the puck, pass the puck. St. Pierre, he's the guy with the vision, sees the ice so well. The 3 of them complement each other so well.
Callahan and Trudell both with 12 goals. They lead the way in that category in the postseason, along with Patrick O'Sullivan. Jacob Carice, he has 8 postseason tallies. Spur and Jansen back out, and this line physically can really control an opponent. Girardi shot blocked to the point of attack. He'll try it again. That hit a stick and made its way into the mesh.
You talk about how important this line is. This line reminds me of the line for Detroit with McCarty and Maltby and Draper, how they go out and they bang and crash game in and game out, but they can score goals and they can contribute. They don't hurt you when they're on the ice. Cam Janssens was a huge pickup, and Carice has come into his own in this series. First star in the first game and the third game, scoring goals. The little things that he does, he's starting to move his feet more, and he even told us himself he wants to move his feet. He knows it's part of his game that he has to work on, and he's starting to do it.
Kevin Klein, his rocket misses on the short side. Rudicello run over by Tuomi and failed to clear it out. Stokes will do just that. He's dislodged from the disc as Tuomi flips it high and in. Adam Abraham. Off of O'Leary to Rudicello, and he runs into Matt Ryan. Kevin Klein awaits. Ran into Chris Bain, who's been a great pickup in that large Robbie Schremp deal made back in October with London. And that's an interesting turn of events, John. Quincy and Bain still playing. Robbie Schremp is not. O'Leary clears it to an open one. Girardi hit Bass with it, and he's crunched by Bain as it's tied up, and Girardi felt that blow.
Well, you just mentioned Chris Bain, how important he is to this squad. London not playing. Chris Bain was mentored by a guy like Dale Hunter, and they come into a good situation with Greg Gilbert as well. They both have the same philosophy to play a physical style of hockey, good defensively, and Girardi, a very important part of this Guelph Storm team. Chris Bain is always going to play the body, never going to pass up an opportunity to take the man.
Bain has accounted for 11 points in these playoffs as well. Trudell moving in, intercepted by Chris Comenti. Bain only had 11 points during the entire regular season. St. Pierre one-on-one with Cody Bass. St. Pierre trying to hold it in at the line. Backhands it behind the net towards Callahan and Trudell. And Chance will jump on the loose puck and take care of it.
Things getting a little nasty in the corner, a little rubbing in the face. Butera takes down the man, Callahan. He knows he has to keep on him. He's very quick in the corners. You can't let him get loose below the goal line because he jumps on the loose puck so quickly. I really like the way Greg Gilbert has taught these guys to play solid in their own end of the rink. They know they'll be rewarded if they play the way they're supposed to in their own end. Offensive opportunities will come from solid defense, and that's what he's preached all season long.
The former head coach of the Calgary Flames, I feel, has just done a tremendous job developing his talent. In year number one as the head man behind the bench in Mississauga. Carice takes a wallop as the physical trend continues. Klein puts on the brakes and off the glass. Kyle Quincy, another former London Knight. The true key component that came over in the Rob Schremp deal back in October. Knowles is upended, but it will be an icing call. The faceoff will come back deep inside IceDog territory.
And what an acquisition having Kyle Quincy on the point. He's fourth among defensemen in scoring with 16 points, but he also has a competitive edge in the defensive zone of the ice as well. He can play in both ends. He's not afraid to jump up on the power play. He's getting a ton of ice time. Greg Gilbert really likes the way he contributes game in and game out. He's been very effective throughout these playoffs.
The Detroit Red Wing draft pick in the fourth round, Kyle Quincy. Ryan Card blocked by Chad Paincho. Litwin in front by a fan. Card a hard drive, rebound, scores! And it's Matt Ryan again. Guelph leads it 2-0.
Key to Guelph is their defensemen get the puck through to the net. There's no question about that. Winning the faceoff is key. You can see traffic going to the front of the net. A man will fall down. The puck will go out and then back to the point. Look at the convergence to the front of the net. 12 players in the position, way out front, 2 coming off the side post. Matt Ryan knows where to go, how to get open in the slot area. He's rewarded now with his second goal of the game.
And 8th of the playoffs, 3rd of this championship series. Bass and St. Pierre staring down one another. and not the beginning that the Ice Dogs wanted. John, are you sure we're in Mississauga? I could swear we're in Guelph tonight.
Well, with 6 busloads of Guelph fans, it's incredible the noise that's in this building.
They're noisier in this building than they are when they have 4,900 in their own. Stokes clears it off his skate. Card and Mark Versteeg Litwin draw the assist on Matt Ryan's second of the game. Callahan, Trudell with a bit of a lead. Brett Trudell one-on-one. Couldn't really direct the rolling puck the way he had intended to. Abraham slapped off his stick by Paye and then cleared down the ice, which will produce an icing call with just over 1 minute to go in the opening period, and the Guelph Storm getting a little closer to their first title since 1998.
Well, this first period is not a good sign for the Mississauga IceDogs. Their first period has been the strongest period throughout the playoffs, with the traffic out front of the net. Getting outmanned in front is a key component to Guelph's play right now. They're jumping all over loose pucks. They're getting into open ice and getting rewarded.
And Ryan back out there with Paye and Litwin. Here's Ryan again, trying to dance around Butera. Ryan in the corner, held down by Clemente on this occasion. Paye towards Ryan. Ryan looking for the wraparound, and Clemente recovered well to prevent that shot. Litwin towards Ryan, but he had lost his stick, and now there's 2 broken pieces of graphite on the ice. O'Sullivan mishandles it. Paye to the line, and it just came outside.
Marty St. Pierre, he's always looming around looking for an advantage. You got to keep an eye on him when he's on the ice. This first period for Greg Gilbert, he cannot be happy with what's going on. It's been their strongest period throughout the playoffs. 22 goals scored, 15 against. It's been their best. They've outshot their opponents 229 to 208. That's been their best period. The second and third, they do not have numbers like that. They are a team that needs to come out and have a strong first to be successful.
Well, Guelph's come in here as a team smelling a title, and they've been very hungry and have put forth a tremendous opening 20 minutes to this point in time. Full marks for a 2-0 advantage. Callahan off the boards towards Trudell. Quincy got over defensively. To Omi and Klein. Klein will flip it to the blue line, swatting at it St. Pierre, and then cleared out with 7 seconds to go in the opening frame. Matt Ryan with a pair, his 7th and 8th of the postseason, have the Storm in front 2-0. The Ice Dogs will go to the room to regroup as Adam Dennis and the Storm in the driver's seat.
The Guelph Storm have been dominant in this final series and stand 40 minutes away from capturing the OHL Championship. Good evening, I'm Jamie Campbell. We'll get you back to the Hershey Center momentarily. With a lockout looming, it's likely the Maple Leafs will enter a 4th decade without a Stanley Cup. Some in Toronto wish to, in the words of John Candy, blow it up real good. With that in mind, Greg Ross wonders what the next edition of the Leafs will look like.
I kind of envisioned this team as being one that was maybe had a little destiny to it.
As it turns out, the Leafs' destiny was not to win a Stanley Cup. Instead, it seems they are destined for a major overhaul this summer.
Every year you get older, you realize, the summer comes, you have a lot of decisions to make, and obviously with the CBA and the unknown of a hockey season next year, I'm sure there's a lot of us that'll be doing some thinking this summer.
A total of 11 players are set to become unrestricted free agents on July 1st. 6 more are restricted free agents for a grand total of 16 players who do not have contracts for next season. It could soon be 17 if the Leafs choose not to pick up a $4 million option on Robert Reichel, which in all likelihood will be the case.
We have some free agents, and we have to address all those issues now and see what our team might look like when we come back to the season.
It's a list of free agents that includes names like Roberts, Nieuwendyk, and Francis. But at the top of that list is goaltender Ed Belfort, arguably the Leafs' most valuable player this year, and his shoes would certainly be tough to fill. But what price are the Leafs willing to pay for a 39-year-old goaltender with an ailing back?
Well, I want to be here. I mean, you know, I hope that things work out.
Belfort is already rumored to have turned down a 2-year offer the Leafs made just before the start of the playoffs, which would indicate Belfort is looking for something long-term.
He's trying to pull away from the check. He does pull away. He's in. Scores! Matt Sundin, and what an effort!
Captain Matt Sundin is one of only a handful of players the Leafs do have locked up for next season. Other notable players on that list include Owen Nolan, Brian Leach, Ty Domi, Alexander McGillney, and Matt Stajan.
Certainly enjoyed my time here, and I would like to stay on. I'm not ready to go to the pasture yet.
Head coach Pat Quinn still has 1 year left on his contract at $2 million, but there's already been some speculation his days may be numbered in Toronto. Quinn's season of destiny has come to a sudden halt, leaving behind a number of questions surrounding the team's future. The man who will provide the answers is rookie GM John Ferguson in what should prove to be a busy offseason. Greg Ross, Sportsnet, Toronto.
And with the Maple Leafs out, the Calgary Flames remain the only Canadian team remaining in the Stanley Cup playoffs. They're in search of their first Stanley Cup since 1989. In our second intermission, we'll take a look at Daryl Sutter's relationship with his opponent. Matt Ryan has 2 goals for Guelph. They held a 2-0 lead back to the Hershey Center. Right after this, you're watching the OHL on Rogers Sportsnet.
Play of the first period brought to you by Easton Sports. Innovation versus imitation. Why use anything else?
Guelph continuing their dominance in the offensive end of the ice. Puck gets back to Ryan Card and a big shot. Matt Ryan out front gets his second goal of the game. Persistence is what Guelph's all about. They get in good position. Matt Ryan's the recipient. After 1 period of play, the Storm are ahead by 2.
The IceDogs, some of their fans munching on a snow cone. Their team needs to munch a little bit more, you might say, around the net, because it was mostly Guelph dominating in the opening frame.
Well, Matt Ryan was the star of the first period with a couple of goals. Really coming out on strong, this Guelph team did, getting hard shots through to the net. That's why they got the opportunities. A good example is Klein getting a shot through to the net for the first goal of the game, and the traffic of people going and looking for rebounds has been key, and not giving up in the crease area. Mississauga seemed to give up on that first goal against. Now at the other end of the ice, Adam Dennis makes a tremendous save on Bass. Dennis didn't get tested a lot early, but made the big save when called upon. And Matt Ryan again in the slot area. Mississauga has to have men out to the point and not let the puck get through to the net during the second period.
Matt Ryan, the 20-year-old, with his second and third of the series and his 7th and 8th of the postseason, have the Storm 2 periods away from earning a trip to Kelowna, British Columbia, and the Memorial Cup. At this time, we'd like to extend a warm welcome to all our viewers watching in tonight on Rogers Television throughout your local markets in Ontario. Game 4 of the OHL Championship Series, and we'll see what Greg Gilbert's message was and how it works after he chatted with us between periods number 1 and now 2, which is just nicely underway. Cody Bass, oh, was he robbed, as we just showed you, by Adam Dennis in that opening frame, and that's a key save. Adam Dennis. And John, I know that you had a chat in particular a couple of weeks ago with Al Jensen, a scout, and he really likes the way Dennis has come along.
Well, he likes the way that he's coming along. Dennis is doing a good job with his quickness, his composure. He stands upright. He doesn't give you a lot of room. A big reason why in the net he doesn't panic. Al Jensen really likes his progress of this goaltender.
And I've talked to a couple of other NHL scouts who are taking a long look at him as he moves up in terms of prospects who might be selected in goal in the upcoming National Hockey League draft this year, which will be staged in Raleigh, North Carolina. And of course, the gentleman at the other end of the rink, David Chance, he may be going in the first round or 2.
Well, he's rated second overall among North American goaltenders. He's really earned it because he's played so well. A big reason why this Mississauga team is here, because he came on and really played well. I know we talked to some of the brass for the IceDogs earlier in the season during the All-Star game. They were counting on him to step up. They didn't know if he could do it, but he really has shone all season long.
Yeah, he's been tremendous. Kyle Palsper backhands it in, takes a bump. Rick Cockell first with the puck. Ryan Card, who drew an assist in that opening period, let it go from the line. Good stop by Shantz. Carice comes out, and Carice takes a bit of a slug at his man. And they go down to the ice, and we'll see if referee Beer hands out penalties 49 seconds in to period number 2.
Well, you look to see if there's been any changes Greg Gilbert may have made during the first intermission. He did make one. He put Blair Jarrett on the line with Cody Bass and Chris Curring, maybe to get a little bit more physical play going, stir things up on the bench. Maybe somebody hasn't played as well as he would like to have in the first period, but he has made a subtle change already.
Lucas Grauweiler comes out for the IceDogs with Chad Paintshow and Tom Zanoski. Quincy and Stokes on the back end versus the #1 line in this game. Ryan Paye and Mark Versteeg Litwin, and Klein shot redirects. And a tricky offering handled pretty well by David Shantz.
Right off the face-off, we were talking about in the first period how the defensemen for Guelph are getting the shots through. Good redirection of the forward coming out gives Klein ability to get to the middle of the ice, get a shot on net. As a forward coming out, Paintshow has to fight his way through that check, or maybe even switch off with his other winger. They have to get somebody in line with those shots going to the net.
19-8 shots on goal so far in favor of the Storm that recorded 12 of the first 13 shots in this game. Good breakout pass. Paintshow, Zanoski. The IceDogs failed to take advantage of what looked like it was a nicely developing 3-on-2.
A terrific breakout play. The guys got their feet moving, try to get something going. They ended up with 3-on-2 opportunity, but you have to be smart as a forward. Your role is to drive hard through to the net. Good pass up through the middle of the ice. They split the seam. That's a change that's being made by the Storm. You want to have the guy driving hard through the middle of the ice to the net. You got to be patient. You got to wait your turn and go when you're supposed to.
Utera fires it in. Two IceDogs collide, and St. Pierre has it roll off his stick. Daryl Knowles on the ice with Patrick O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan, he dances in. O'Sullivan off the edge of the post. There's the individual star-like play from Patrick O'Sullivan, but now a 2-on-1 the other way. St. Pierre with Callahan. He'll drop it. Klein, and a big save from Shantz off Kevin Klein.
Well, Patrick O'Sullivan does what he does best. When he has the puck, he handles the biscuit, and he doesn't give it up very easily. And I think the toughest thing for a defenseman is when a forward splits down the middle. Your partner and yourself, they have to communicate. They don't know who's going to take them. What happens, though, is a 2-on-1 opportunity, and a defenseman, Kevin Klein, jumping up in the play. And you can see how badly he wanted that puck. St. Pierre doesn't miss many opportunities to pass it like that.
Good opportunities at both ends of the ice early here in the second period. I think Dennis may have got a piece of that O'Sullivan shot as well before it got a piece of the iron.
Well, O'Sullivan dancing through that middle of the ice. You're getting hacked and whacked. You just try to get a good, clean shot off. I wouldn't be surprised if Dennis got a piece of it. He plays so square and cuts down the angle so well.
What a burst to split the defenders. Adam Abraham knocked off his stick. Carrying on is the veteran Ryan Stokes. And he's one of the players on this team, I think, that has benefited the most from Greg Gilbert taking over as the head coach. Take nothing away from Steve Ludzik, but boy, oh boy, some of the players on this team have really come a long way under the guidance of Gilbert. Jacob Carice and Nico Tuomi. Tuomi towards Palsper, runs in to Cody Bass. The puck squirts ahead, and Jansen. Carice in the slot. Cam Jansen. Oh, what physical strength this guy possesses. Back to the line, and Klein. Cam Jansen, John, is literally cut out of stone.
And he throws that stone around every shift. He plays such a physical style. I think he's probably one of the most important acquisitions that this team has made, and Sean Kemp referred to it earlier today, that bringing him into the lineup, he'll fight, he'll stick up for his teammates, he'll do everything that is asked of him, and it gives the guys that are maybe a little smaller a little more room to play. They said that when he came into the locker room, he's great in the locker room with the guys, and there was so much more confidence because they had a little bit of insurance. If anything was going to happen or someone was going to take advantage of them, he'd take care of it.
Ryan Card moves in. Good opportunity off the draw. Zanoski off the glass. He scored a huge goal in overtime in Game 5 of the series versus St. Mike's that earned Mississauga a trip to this final. Zanoski fans on the one-timer, blacked in front, and Litwin clears it to neutral ice. 2-0, 2 opening period goals by Matt Ryan have the Storm in front as they try to close out the OHL Championship Series in 4 straight. Zanoski swatted at it and missed, and it's cleared around the boards and down the ice for icing.
Well, Girardi's starting to take a little bit of physical abuse. They know that they have to get to him, and Zanoski is one player who's trying to get things going. Bain hit him earlier in the first period. A cross-check here by Zanoski, but he doesn't stop. He goes right at him for a second one, trying to get him off of his game. Girardi is such a valuable member of this Guelph Storm team.
Suomi, nice move, and plays it off the boards and down the ice. Callahan, and he can really skate. Held up by Adam Abraham, and the puck rolls through to Shantz.
Well, a nice play by Abraham, the rookie. He is one player since midseason has become their best player on the team. And Ryan Stokes, his partner, is somebody that you talked about earlier who's benefited from Greg Gilbert. Stokes didn't play a lot last year, maybe 4 or 5 minutes per game, and he's found himself in a top 4 position now. So he's really stepped up under the tutelage of Greg Gilbert, and Abraham, a young rookie, playing alongside him. These two guys have a lot of pressure on them to perform.
Abraham's a young man who I think in 2 years you'll see performing in Vancouver for the U.S. national junior team. He's that good. Rudisella and Ryan Stokes. Ahead to Daryl Knowles. He'll backhand it in as Abraham gives chase along with O'Sullivan. Callahan on the boards. Callahan to St. Pierre. Hooked off the puck by O'Sullivan, who does a nice job of breaking up the play. Callahan backhands it in as O'Sullivan loses his helmet and tries to put it back on quickly. Line at center ice, runs into Rudisella. Carice now. Carice and Callahan. Jansen run into by Stokes, who loses his helmet, and Card just fails to hold it into the line.
You know, just following up on Ryan Stokes' story and the players that have been under Greg Gilbert, one of the things that he has done this year for the young guys, or even the veterans that have been around for a couple years, he's let them play. Usually when a coach comes in, if they make a mistake, they'll sit them on the bench. Greg Gilbert feels that tell them what they did wrong, get them back out there to learn more, and he's been doing that throughout this season.
Girardi rifles the puck in. Paille, a huge hit from Paille on Anthony Butera. Paille trying to knock it down, and Butera has him in a bit of a lock as it's cleared in behind the Guelph goal. Girardi, he misses Matt Ryan, and that'll roll all the way down the ice.
Well, this Guelph Storm team last game did not come out as hard as they wanted to come out, and you wonder if maybe there was a little bit of overconfidence because they were up a couple games. They came into the series feeling pretty worn out after the London series. They didn't play well last game, but you can see how they've been talked to, it's been addressed, and they've come out in this first half of this game and stepped things right up. I have not seen a team 5-on-5 that competes the way they do. It's been one power play in this game, and it's been 5-on-5 the rest of the way.
Butera clears it wide of the net. Grauweiler on the puck. Grauweiler, cross ice attempt. Gobbled up by Callahan, who hit St. Pierre in the back of the skate. Clemente carries on. Klein to the line, past Bain, and now out St. Pierre. Cross ice and a good play. Trudell jumping up as Callahan. Trudell tries the wraparound, and Shantz dives back. And a big save again by David Shantz.
David Shantz is being relied upon way too much. They know that he's important, but Trudell comes down. The shot is deflected, and he doesn't give up, but Shantz doesn't give up as well. Callahan coming into the area. Tipped by the defender. Trudell gets it, and Shantz is so quick to get up, get across the crease, and a good defensive play coming back on Callahan, so there's not an open shot on net.
Quincy to Zanoski, run into by Girardi. Kyle Spur and Quincy now, waging quite a battle. Spur drops it off for Carice. Jacob Carice trying to turn away from O'Sullivan. Does so. Carice's shot, that's deflected to the open corner. As Jeremy Whalen, in just his second ever Ontario Hockey League game, shoots it down the ice.
Well, trip to this final has been an interesting one. In the first round, they went 7 games against Owen Sound, and they tell us that that's where they developed the character to get through. They expected a much tougher series against Plymouth. They beat them 4-0. And against London, it was a hard-fought battle. But we feel that Guelph probably could have won it in 5 or 6.
Well, maybe even 4 if you take a look back at what transpired in the game that we did on Rogers Sportsnet in Game 2, when Guelph dominated at home and lost that contest in overtime on a Brandon Pruss goal. But that series in the end, John, turned into everything most of us had expected and maybe a little bit more.
With London in that series, I have never seen a power play in the last 4 years that has been effective and moved the puck around as well as they did. So that was special teams was very important. But 5-on-5, I think, is the key to why Guelph won that series.
Penalty coming up on the play as Litwin was nailed. And when we return, Guelph goes on the power play. Chris Curran in the penalty box for Mississauga for getting his stick up on Mark Versteeg Litwin.
You can see that it's a vicious high stick across the face of Litwin. Litwin was feeling his lip as he was skating off the ice. That's just physical play by Curran trying to get involved, and unfortunately he finds himself in the box.
The Storm 4 for 16 on the power play in this series with their first chance of the night. Grauweiler, O'Sullivan, Stokes, and Abraham for a huge penalty kill. Klein, St. Pierre, Girardi, Ryan Callahan, and Brett Trudell. And Trudell leads all OHL performers in power play goals with 7. But here's maybe a shorthanded chance, is just out of the reach of Grauweiler.
Grauweiler had a shorthanded goal in Guelph on Monday night, looking for another.
And what a beauty it was. O'Sullivan with some excellent penalty killing work. Callahan in behind Trudell. I think it'll be 2 lines if he touches it. Chance came out and fanned on a clearing attempt. So the IceDogs a little fortunate on that occasion. 1:10 to go on the Guelph manpower advantage. Stokes intercepts, finds an opening, and makes no mistake. The IceDogs changed their penalty killers up, and what a job they've done penalty killing in the playoffs, coming into tonight at nearly 92% in that department. Matt Ryan already with a pair in the contest, puts on the brakes and finds Tuomi. Carice down low and Paye, Ryan to the front of the net. Carice and Tuomi. Ryan Carr, Tuomi tees it up. It's blocked in front by Butera as Chris Bain backhands it down the ice. Cody Bass in hot pursuit and really rubs his man into the glass. Tuomi, and Tuomi, the veteran, felt that. Ryan Carr to Carice, maybe one last chance. Heavy collision involving 3 as it's Carice who goes down to the ice.
This Mississauga team, we were speaking to the coaching staff about why they were so effective killing penalties, and the philosophy that you can see is very obvious. They're very aggressive down ice. They don't give time to set up, especially in junior hockey. You can do that. There's players that aren't as confident with the puck carrying it up the ice, but in their own end of the ice, you can tell there's a lot of Greg Gilbert influence in that because they're very good in the box and they react quickly to loose pucks.
Greg Gilbert in his career showed that he knew a thing or two about penalty killing in his time with the New York Islanders. Knows a thing or two about winning as well.
Winning, defensive hockey, everything it takes to be a winner.
Mississauga, an effective job of killing off the penalty to Curran, sending it through the crease. O'Sullivan. Grauweiler with a good hit on Callahan, as maybe the penalty kill might turn the tide a little here in the second period for an IceDogs team battling for its postseason life. Trailing this OHL final 3-0. And trying to avoid being the first team swept in an OHL Championship Series since Windsor did so to Peterborough back in 1988. Stokes holds it in. Going to the net is Pincho, and the netminder Dennis breaks it up. Rick Coggill in his own zone for Zanoski. Quincy, the lead man on the attack, backhands it into the corner towards Cody Bass. In front, Pincho just off his stick. Pincho, Mississauga with some heat on Zanoski. And look at Carice rough up Zanoski. Look at the physical battles on this shift. Oh, that's fun to watch. Pincho, he lets it go. It hit a stick, and Dennis with a fine save as Jansen with a little extra stuff for Zanoski, and Card is there too.
You're not going to see Jansen fight. He has a no-fight rule with the team coaches. They've agreed that he's not going to fight. He's one guy that is willing to do it, but he has to stay disciplined. He's not going to take bad penalties. That's a lot of reason why this team is so successful. They don't find themselves in the box too often. Bass trying to get things started. Jansen's will talk and will try to get under the skin. There's no doubt about that. He's even yapping to us downstairs in the hallway trying to get some attention. He's all over that part of the game, but very disciplined.
Well, he's yapping big time right now at Cody Bass. And Jansen, no intention of fighting the youngster, but he's certainly going to give him a piece of his mind, or 3 or 4 pieces. In his case, is Tuomi, who is involved with Bass, and those two gentlemen are going to make their way to the penalty box.
Well, it just gets physical behind the net. Carice is playing a solid game, and you talk about how big and strong he is, and his legs are like tree trunks. You're not going to knock him off the puck. Everybody keeps the play to the outside. You don't see a lot of players in the slot area. Guelph doing a good job keeping everyone to the outside of the boards below the goal line.
Card and Tuomi have made their way, the defensive pairing, to the penalty box for Guelph. Cody Bass will take a seat. And does that mean we're going to be left with a Mississauga power play? Well, the Mississauga door is still open. Mind you, so is the Guelph penalty box door.
Well, importantly enough for Guelph, this is 2 of the top 4 defensemen in Tuomi and Card in the penalty box.
Zanoski of Greg Gilbert's team joining Cody Bass at the penalty box. So coincidental penalties, it would appear, with 10:35 to go in the second period of Game 4 of this championship series, which at this time, once again, we'd like to extend a very warm welcome to all our viewers looking in tonight on Rogers Television in your different respective local markets across this fine province of Ontario. Hope you're enjoying our Rogers Sportsnet coverage. Rogers Sportsnet, of course, the home of the upcoming Memorial Cup in Kelowna. It'll start with the opening game on May the 15th. And all coincidental minors, Tuomi, Bass, Card, Zanoski, sitting down. Matt Ryan wins the draw to Ryan Parent. He was the captain of Team Ontario in the World Under-17 Challenge, the gold medal winning squad. Kyle Quincy. Quincy on the wing for Daryl Knowles, and in behind O'Sullivan, as Parent will track it down in his own territory. Litwin can't clear it out of the zone. O'Sullivan behind the net. In front, nifty pass, Quincy, but that was blocked by the young blue liner Parent. And Parent taking no chances as he ices the puck. Kyle Quincy and the IceDogs looking for a spark. They continue to trail by a pair. Toronto Blue Jays on Rogers Sportsnet will have the entire weekend series against the Chicago White Sox. Friday night, 7 o'clock, and of course all those games available in high definition. Back here in Mississauga at the Hershey Center, the IceDogs trying to keep their season alive, but they trail the Guelph Storm in game number 4, 2-0. Matt Ryan with 2 first period goals. The pace has slowed down, John, considerably in this second frame.
And that's not a good thing for Guelph. They want to keep this high tempo. They like their transition game, getting it going the other way. I think Mississauga trying to slow things down by creating a little bit of after the whistle, pushing and shoving, trying to throw guys off their game. It's working a little bit. The tempo of the game is slowed down. They're getting a little more opportunity in the offensive end of the ice now.
Loose in front, O'Sullivan with the best opportunity of the period for the IceDogs, and Adam Dennis stared him down.
It's a perfect example of a low-tempo game. Guelph needs to be hard on the puck, strong in the draw. They have an opportunity to gain control of the puck. They're out-muscled, and a nice chip pass for O'Sullivan to get into the slot area. That just doesn't happen in a high-tempo, physical type of a game for that Guelph Storm.
Stokes threw a screen, may have went wide, but good pick save nonetheless by Adam Dennis. Paint show a chance. That hit Girardi and will come into neutral ice. Stokes, good play to Paint show. He hit the linesman trying to clear it into the zone as Girardi sends it out. Abraham has to wait. Knowles back to his own line, and Stokes towards O'Sullivan, who wanted no part of Kevin Klein stepping up. Stokes cross ice, and O'Sullivan just onside. He's magic with the puck. O'Sullivan drops it off for Knowles. Knowles in behind the net working against Girardi, runs into Jansen, and Jansen with a takedown on Knowles. Carice the other way. Jacob Carice off the ankle, and that hurt Adam Abraham. No question about that.
You just can't knock Carice down.
All 6'3", 215 of them. Here's O'Sullivan one more time, working against Parent. But back defensively was Daniel Paille, and there's the element he gives you. Paille, good burst of speed, but Clemente broke it up. Chris Clemente, wrist shot, no trouble for Dennis as he hangs on.
A lot of physical play. You try to take the body, and Jacob Carice, he's such a big player. You said a 6'3". He came off the ice after that hit. He was crouching over as if he was hurt a little bit. He's not going to show signs of it now. Working so hard in this series and really working his way up. He wants to be effective. Phoenix draft pick. He wants to show them that he can play in high-level games.
A first-round pick of the Coyotes back in 2002, and a two-time member of the Czech national junior team. Jacob Carice. Blair Jarrett battling. Nico Tuomi has him in a pretty good lock. Chris Kern to help out. Stripped by St. Pierre. St. Pierre trying to play it out and just past Rudisella, who now turns it over to Brett Trudell. Trudell, a surprising wrist shot. I don't think Shantz thought it was going to get to him quite that quickly, as Trudell, a heavy hit on Butera as the play is blown down.
Trudell's playing physical, getting out and forechecking. We talked about Dan Paille in the opening, how he's not the captain of this team. He was the World Junior Championships. Tuomi is the captain at home games. They split the duties. Martin St. Pierre is the captain on the road. So that's why they have so much leadership on this team. They have veterans on the team that are willing to lead. Dan Paille doesn't complain about it either. That's just another asset that he has. He brings. He still leads by example on the ice.
St. Pierre, the leading scorer in the OHL playoffs, as Jansen and Spur bang away at it in the crease area. St. Pierre with 34 points. Jansen and Carice. Carice wrist shot. Chance juggled it before diving on it.
A look at the playoff scoring leaders. Martin St. Pierre has continued his pace. He was second overall in the Ontario Hockey League, but he continues to play very well at passing the puck. Patrick O'Sullivan has carried his team with 23 points, and Kevin Klein, a defenseman, up among the top scorers. He has been so impressive. The one guy on this team that I think has shown me the stuff. Nashville has got to find in this player.
Here's Klein off the draw. Shot blocked in front. Jarrett slides it to center. Matt Ryan dodges the check of Kern. Bass chops it off the boards and right to Dennis. A second-round pick of the Nashville Predators, Kevin Klein. And in Kelowna, you'll see another fine second-round pick of the Nashville Predators, a gentleman by the name of Shea Weber, who's one heck of a defenseman.
There's tons of defensemen coming out of that Western Hockey League that are so talented.
Dennis thought about playing it and then elects to hang on.
A big hit behind the net on Coghill. Physical play, and Dan Paille was the leader coming in and taking the man behind the net. really feeling the effects of it afterwards. You can see him shaking up a bit, but Dan Paillet comes in and finishes, checks. A little bit from behind on that play. Still, I think it was a legal hit. You have to play a physical style. You can't let a guy get out from behind the net all alone without punishing him.
Angel towards Chris Bain, and he's not afraid to throw his weight around as he does there into Girardi. Trudell misses Callahan. Callahan and Abraham. Abraham backhands it and finds Bain. Bain's pass intercepted by Ryan Card. Card a plus 13 to lead his team in the playoffs coming into tonight.
This is a guy who played in Peterborough last year, in and out of the lineup, played forward, played D. He is so important for Guelph, among the top 4 defensemen on the team. He even finds power play time with his team.
And make it plus 14 for Card because he drew an assist on Matt Ryan's second goal. Chris Bain working one-on-one with Kevin Klein. Parise, a backhander out to center ice. Lots and lots of good physical play in this second period. Not a lot of open ice. Opening period was more of a racehorse type period, controlled by the Storm. Spur into the corner towards Jansen. Jansen and Bain, and that's always an interesting meeting when they collide. Spur runs into Comenti. Butera backpedals. Butera turns it over. Spur has a man in front. And unable to shoot it was Versteed Litwin. Spur upended loose in front. Tuomi hit a jump over a stick. Racing away is Tom Zanoski. Zanoski with O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan, the pass too high to knock down to a stick at first try. And Klein comes away with it.
Terrific communication by Tuomi and Klein coming back defensively. Tuomi gave him a little look. Klein took over the left position on defense, covered the area nicely.
Daniel Paillet, good burst, plays it to the front, and O'Sullivan give him credit defensively for breaking up the pass on the doorstep. Zanoski backhands it. Card will hold it in. Another chance. His shot steered into the corner by goaltender David Chance. And backhanded off the glass and out of play by Kyle Quincy. It remains a 2-0 Guelph advantage. 2-0 it remains. The Storm in front, trying to close out the Ontario Hockey League Championship Series, and this the 4th game. Matt Ryan with his 7th and 8th of the playoffs. As the Storm in front, Callahan has 12 goals in the postseason, but is greeted by Ryan Stokes. Callahan from Rochester, New York. Misses Trudell, and it will turn into an icing call.
Well, there's definitely been a difference in this second period compared to the first in the physical department. Both teams have come out and started throwing their weight around. You can see that Cam Jansen is the leader in that department. He did it in game 3. Again, Trudell throwing his weight around on Brutera. And a big one on Parise, but he doesn't go down. Daniel Paillet throwing his body around. Mississauga, I don't think, is just big enough and strong enough to compete with this Guelph Storm team in a long series like this.
Well, give Guelph credit. This is a heck of a hockey team. They won 49 times during the regular season, a franchise high in that department. Spurs pass, hit a stick. Jeremy Whalen drops it for Kyle Quincy. Quincy had it roll off the end of his stick. Comenti trying to knock it down and move away from Jansen, and did both. Nice work by Comenti. Dennis to Kevin Klein. Klein and Jansen. Parise. Up ahead is Kyle Spur, the former St. Mike's Major. Spur helped upend Comenti at the line, but play continues. Jansen's pass steered into the corner by O'Sullivan. Tuomi in behind the net, where O'Sullivan awaits and controls, and right on the tape of Chad Paincho. And the scouts have had a nice look at this young man throughout the year, and nice pass. O'Sullivan, Whalen going to the net, and Tuomi was there to break it up. Paillet loses it. What a move by Paincho to put himself in position to shoot it, and Dennis held his pad to the ice. Stokes' shot blocked by Ryan Card, who takes a shot and continues to move up the ice. Gets away from a big hit attempt to Stokes. Played it in front. Paillet was there. So was Ryan, but it's Chance who kicked it away from both. Tempo starting to pick up a little bit here. Here's Paille racing in. Paille! Good stuff by Chance, and it may have hit the post as well. Brudicella blocked up by Girardi. O'Leary in a big collision with Klein. Knowles to the front of the net. Butera trying to control it. All alone is Brudicella, and it's Klein who got in the way of the shot attempt. Mississauga with some heat on, trying to score a late goal and get themselves back in it as it's blown down.
This is the most sustained pressure that Mississauga has had in the offensive zone to create more than one opportunity on the same shifts. But David Chance is the guy that's really come up big. This stop on Dan Paille, he just plays it so calmly. Paille's all alone. He knows he's got a defender coming back to take a little whack, but he doesn't overreact. Chance lets Paille dictate the time and where he's going to shoot. It goes off the post. There's not a lot of room though. Chance doesn't give him up anything, doesn't make the first move.
Did go off the outside of the post. But you're right, John, he stayed right there, and there wasn't a lot of real estate to work with for Paille, who St. Pierre carries it in on the offside with 1:46 to go, and David Chance turning into a star in the Ontario Hockey League. What a first year he has enjoyed, a member of the all-rookie team.
You talk about this Guelph team, how good they were during the regular season. 103 points. They beat every team in the Ontario Hockey League except the Mississauga IceDogs. The two games they won were early on in the season, where there was a lot of faces that aren't here now, but they did do the job.
Yeah, the leading scorer in those two games ended up going to London in a big trade, Rob Schremp. Mississauga did win the season set 2-0, but they trail by 3. Paille, backhander, Chance, a huge save, the rebound. Over top of the net is Chance doing all he can to keep his team's hopes alive.
Well, Mississauga going to the penalty box, but really made Paille pay the price by going hard to the net. Fake forehand to backhand. He wanted to have the goalie slide across and try to slip it through his legs, but there wasn't a lot of extra movement, and I think Paille kind of rushed himself, but he paid the price as he went through, taking a slash across the arms.
From Anthony Butera, who will sit down with 1:18 to go, and a glorious opportunity for Guelph with their second power play chance. If they could ever cash in here late in the frame, John, it would be a really long way back tonight for Mississauga. Klein, the hard blast, just missed. Callahan, Trudell in front of the net, parking himself in the slot area. Girardi and Klein to man it from the point. Girardi. Look for them to run a pick play. They did that a lot against London, as this is bad news for Guelph. Trudell is hurt and is struggling to get to the bench. St. Pierre in front. Girardi had a chance, but he didn't get a lot on it. Comenti cleared it. Fast diving. Can't remove it from the zone, but it went off of Sullivan and out to center. And you hope, for the case of Guelph and Brett Trudell, that he's all right.
He takes the punishment in the slot area on the power play.
St. Pierre to the line and Girardi. 22 seconds to go in the period. Klein, Girardi. There's where they like to run that pick and that exchange. Down low it goes. Girardi in front. Chance on top of the loose puck one more time, and then Chance with a little poke to the back of the leg of Carice.
Well, they do like to run that pick play on the power play, but the most important thing on this power play right now is Brett Trudell okay. Working hard in the slot area. He's in pain on the bench. He goes to the slot area. He has 7 power play goals, but he pays the price. You can see right in the back of the leg, taking the slash. We spoke with Dan Paille the other day. He went down in the same fashion, showed the same kind of pain. Said he got hit in a nerve area kind of feeling. His leg went numb, had to crawl off the ice, couldn't put his weight on it. Went back to the locker room, walked it off a little bit, and obviously he's okay. He's playing in the game, but it's a scary situation when you go down looking like that.
13 seconds to go in the frame. Girardi, Klein moving up. That was blocked in front. Abraham, look out. Fires that into the stands. And hopefully nobody's seriously hurt. Hockey Central Saturday coming your way. Daily coverage of the Stanley Cup playoffs. and they'll take a look on Saturday at Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final, matching Tampa Bay and the Philadelphia Flyers. Just under 3 seconds to go. Sullivan plays it to the corner, and that'll do it for the second period. So, John, no goals in period number 2. David Chance keeping his team in it as the Storm 20 minutes away from a trip to Kelowna. The MasterCard Memorial Cup will begin in Kelowna, British Columbia, May 15th. We'll have all the exciting action for you right here on Rogers Sportsnet. Matt Ryan joins us. Matt, you and your mates are 20 minutes away from a berth in that Memorial Cup. I take it that has a pretty nice ring to it.
Oh, definitely. That's what we've been working towards since day one. It's been our goal in mind, and we're 20 minutes away. We just got to continue to work hard, and I know we're going to get a good result.
Matty, you scored 42 goals during the regular season. Just a couple games ago, you only had 5 in the playoffs, probably 5th on the team in goal scoring. You're starting to put the puck in the net right now. How does that feel?
It feels great. If you're asking me, it's doing it at the right time. Starting to get hot right before we need it the most. So it's been great just helping out the team any way I can. So it's not scoring goals, playing strong defensively, penalty killing, being strong on faceoffs. But whenever you can help the team out with a big goal, it's a definite benefit.
Matt, if you can take a look down at your monitor that you have there, why don't you take us through your 2 goals?
Well, the first one here, basically I just got at the side net, saw a loose puck, just whacked away at it. Luckily, Chance was back in the net and got fortunate bounce. The second one, great shot by Cardi, just on the doorstep, easy tap in. Definitely big goals. Gave our team a big boost, so I was pretty happy about it.
Matty, did you expect to be on a team like this when you signed from Niagara University last year, come into an opportunity like this? Did you expect to be in this position?
I mean, at the start of the year, I knew we were going to have a great hockey club. We had all the right pieces. Dave Barr, the general manager, made some great moves at the deadline, before the deadline, picking up some key components to our lineup. And this has been our goal in mind since the start of the year. And it feels great to be so close right now.
Matt, thanks so much. Congratulations on a great year to this point, and we'll see how you and your mates make out in the third period trying to close it out.
Thank you very much, guys.
Matt Ryan with his 7th and 8th of the postseason. The reason the Guelph Storm are 20 minutes away from winning the Ontario Hockey League title.
Two goals by Matt Ryan in the first, and the score stands as it did at the end of 1. We're at the end of 2. It remains 2-0 for Guelph. I'm Jamie Campbell, and we're glad to have you aboard tonight. For all they've endured in recent times, Calgarians deserve to witness a conference final. Few would argue that Daryl Sutter is a reason they've made the Final Four. Add the absolutely delicious fact that he used to coach the opponent, and you've got a nice little mini drama. Here's Sportsnet's Barry Strader.
For 5+ seasons, Daryl Sutter patrolled the bench of the San Jose Sharks. And in the first 5 years, the Sharks improved their regular season point total. That is until last year, when Sutter was fired midway through a disappointing campaign. Now, less than a year and a half later, Sutter's new team, the Calgary Flames, will square off against his old club, the Sharks, in the Western Conference Final. It's a juicy storyline, but one Sutter claims has no relevance.
You separate it totally. I mean, it's just what I just said. I have a ton of respect for their organization and for the players that I coached over there. It really has no bearing on it. It's red versus blue or teal. I don't want to talk about it no more. You know why I don't like talking about them? Because they're just a distraction. It's not a big deal. I mean, when it's over and done, then you have friends again.
Is this a storyline that you just wish would go away?
It just did. Man.
Sutter is not the only former member of the Sharks organization now in Calgary. Mika Kiprasov was traded to the Flames early in the year and has since been nominated for the Vezina Trophy. Kiprasov snuck past the media Wednesday, but other former Sharks addressed the task of facing their former club.
Yeah, I just think everything's thrown out the door as soon as you play a team. It doesn't matter who you're playing, and it's such a big series, and it's fun, but it's we're just going to be thinking about our team more than theirs.
We're going in with one tie, and that's Calgary Flames, and that's our focus. And we realize that they're a very strong opponent, and they're a very well coached, well disciplined team, and we have to match that.
That sounds like a description of the Flames, who have a similar style to the hard-working Sharks, which should make for an excellent series.
I think San Jose is a lot like us. They don't have the superstars, but they have a lot of guys that work really hard. They have a great goalie, and it's just something that we have to try to overcome.
Their forwards, they got the one line that's going great. We know we gotta shut them down, and all the other guys work really hard, and they got skills. So they got 4 lines that can play, and we have 4 lines that can play. So it's gonna be it's gonna be a fun series.
Thanks to arena scheduling conflicts in San Jose, the series actually won't begin until Sunday afternoon, which is a good thing for the Flames. Many of their players are suffering from bumps and bruises and could use some extra time off. It also gives Chris Simon some extra time to recover from his knee injury suffered in round 1. Simon has been back on skates for the last few days and is a possibility for Game 1. Barry Strader, Sportsnet, Calgary.
And Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final gets underway in Tampa Bay on Saturday. We'll take a short break and get you back to the Hershey Center as the Guelph Storm attempt to win the Ontario Hockey League Championship.
Play of the second period brought to you by TPS Hockey, because the game is in your hands.
Well, Daniel Paille doing everything he can to get an insurance goal for his Guelph Storm, but David Chance wants no part of it. This one here, the post helps out Chance, and a nice strong drive to the net by Paille. David Chance stepping up big, making the big stops. After 2 periods of play, the Storm are coming on. It's a 2-0 lead.
The Guelph Storm 20 minutes away from advancing to the Memorial Cup. No goals in that second period. The opening 2 came in the first frame, both off the stick of Matt Ryan. 17-8, the shots on goal in the opening frame. In the second period, the trend pretty much continued, with the exception there were no red lights turned on.
It was a couple goals by Matt Ryan early in the game, getting hard to the net, picking up some rebounds. A 42-goal scorer knows how to find openings and how to get to the net and find the way to get the puck in the net. That one there is a good example of it. And this one, right in the slot area, right on the stick. Goal scorers know how to get into the scoring area.
Mississauga's goal scorers, they need to find the scoring area just like Matt Ryan is. Greg Gilbert, in his first year behind the bench, leading his team to the OHL Championship Series. We'll see just how resilient they are in period 3. Trudell, good to see him back after taking that slash late in the second period. Girardi, Klein, 27 seconds to go on a power play. St. Pierre, cross ice, scores! Ryan Callahan, his 13th of the postseason. And that could go a long way in earning a berth in Kelowna.
Most important goal of the game was scored just now by Ryan Callahan on the power play. They worked the puck so well around the outside. You can see St. Pierre with the radar, finds his man off to the side of the net. A beautiful pass by St. Pierre. He's so patient with the puck, has his head up, waiting for him to get in position. You think someone would look at his eyes and see that he's looking for Callahan off to the side of the net.
Ryan Callahan's 13th of the postseason and his 5th power play goal. And the Guelph Storm, with an early one, have increased their lead to 3 in what's starting to look like the final game of the OHL season. As I say that, pretty good opportunity for Patrick O'Sullivan as Daryl Knowles runs into netminder Adam Dimmitz.
Mississauga doing all they can to try to create some havoc in front of Dennis, but he is so composed, so calm in the goal crease area. He doesn't get phased. He stops the puck. He doesn't complain. Gets set for the drop of the puck again. You can see that he just is calm in the nets. He's like a pro.
Callahan's 13th of the playoffs from Martin St. Pierre and Daniel Girardi at 21 seconds. And now they can almost taste it in Guelph. Paille. Girardi, ahead it goes, and Mark Versky, Litwin. His shot well wide. Paincho will drop it off for O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan fires the high wrister over top, bounces right back in front, and they go crashing in to the crease.
That was a funny bounce off the glass. A good dump in by O'Sullivan, but I think it surprised Dennis because he was expecting it to bounce to the corner. He lets it go. It bounces right back to him in front in the crease area. And body's just flailing to get to that puck, hoping it'll fall on the ice.
Grauweiler comes out for the IceDogs with Dan Rudisella and Tom Zanofsky, St. Pierre, Callahan, and Trudeau for the Storm. What a play by Klein to just take that hit and move it to his defense partner.
They're so confident, so strong. Nobody is panicking when they have the puck in their own end of the ice.
When world-class players play like world-class players, you can get a lot accomplished. Kyle Quincy, Chris Clementi, and Trudeau with a thunderous hit on the young defender. Quincy, what a season he's enjoyed. 16 points in the postseason as his shot deflects through to Dennis, and he takes no chances with his 3-0 advantage.
Dennis has been solid. He doesn't let a lot of rebounds up. Quincy is a defenseman jumping up on the play. You have a forward covering on the point as he's jumping up on the ice. There's no rebounds. There's nobody there to get your rebound because Dennis isn't giving anything up. He's holding the puck, letting his team be confident in the defensive end of the ice, winning faceoffs.
Ryan Card with a big assist on Matt Ryan's second goal of the game. Moves the puck out to neutral ice where Spur and Cody Bass collide, and Guelph is going to wind up in the penalty box. And Paul Bridges doesn't like that call very much at the bench of the Guelph Storm as Kyle Spur is on his way to the sin bin.
Well, I know Cam Jansen came in as the referee when the referee put his arm up in the air, but Kyle Spur is the man in the penalty box. And Mr. Brooks not happy behind the bench, the assistant coach for this Guelph Storm team. Another opportunity on the power play. There's a skirmish going on in front. That's when Kyle Spur is roughing it, gets his arms up and throws his man down to the ice. That's what the referee is calling right there.
An almost must-score power play now for Mississauga. They're 0 for 13 of the series for the power play as Paille involved with Ryan Stokes, and 0 for 1 on the night. Patrick O'Sullivan carries in, backhands it to an open corner. Zanofsky throws his weight around, and the puck goes over the glass and out of play. Adam Dennis, yes.
Very strong.
In harmony, I might add.
Well, he's in harmony with the rest of his team because he's not panicking. He's so tough to beat because he's calm. He's square to the puck, and when he does have to scramble, he covers so much net. Nice upright butterfly style. His pads are square on the ice. There's no space in between them. You have to get it up high over his shoulder if you're going to score on him.
Klein, the opening, and the two-hopper right to David Chance. And Chance has performed admirably once again. 1:20 remaining in the Mississauga power play. O'Sullivan to quarterback. Slides it ahead to Grauweiler. Grauweiler nearly sent Paincho in home free. O'Sullivan backpedals to Stokes. Stokes towards Grauweiler. Lucas Grauweiler runs into St. Pierre at the line. Paincho fanned on a shot opportunity, and Girardi plays it off the boards and down the ice. Ryan Stokes off the stick to Rudisella. Long shot right to Dennis, and he once again takes care of the shot and does not allow a rebound.
You are so right about this being a very important power play to score some goals. In the third period, the IceDogs have not been very successful, being outscored 16-9 in the third period. The power play is somewhere where they could get things going, but they have struggled so much during the playoffs with only 10% on the power play. It's very difficult for them to get anything going.
against a team that has killed off 85.4% of its shorthanded situations entering tonight's contest. So Sullivan, Curran, Grauweiler, Butera, and Quincy. And it caroms off Butera to center. Quincy takes a bump from Ryan. And Paye will look out. Rusty Hammond. Sportsnet News with Don Taylor. That comes your way, in the wee hours, 2 a.m. as he'll bring you up to date on all the news and activities in the wonderful and wide world of sports. Klein, again, an opportunity to shoot it down the ice and does so right to Kyle Quincy. .18 seconds to go on this Mississauga power play. Butera, 2 huge goals in the series clincher versus St. Mike's in the Eastern Conference Final. Clears it in, only to have the puck sent all the way back down. And Mississauga offensively just cannot get anything going tonight, for the most part, against this very talented Guelph team. A Guelph team that needed 7 games in the opening round to fight off a terrific challenge from the Owen Sound attack, who nearly threw a huge wrench and pulled a large upset. Plymouth was next, and then the series everybody had anticipated against London in the Western Conference Final. 7 games. Guelph let a 3-1 lead slip away in that set before winning 6-3 in game number 7. And now they're 15.5 minutes away from earning a berth in the Memorial Cup.
Peter, you learn a lot about yourself when you're in a 7-game series, especially when you're expected to win that series easily. Owen Sound came out, gave them all they had, and the character building in the locker room based on that series, I think, is what has carried this team. They've learned to play for each other, learned to sacrifice. They've just become a whole unit as a team.
Well, in the end, that may have been a big difference maker. Rudisella tried to play it in front of the net involving London and themselves, because London faced absolutely no adversity almost all season long, and certainly none in the first 2 rounds of the playoffs, sweeping both series handily. Paincho. We'll see a lot more from this young man in the OHL before he's done. Litwin right through the crease. Paye attempting to track it down, runs into Zanoski. And Stokes banks it off the glass and down the ice. This is starting to look like a Mississauga team that's maybe running out of gas against a very sound opponent.
A little bit of rough stuff going on between the benches, and you can see Dan Paye come in and get his teammate Matt Ryan away from all the rough stuff. They don't want to get into any trouble with some discipline problems. Any opportunity for Mississauga to get on the board is going to be negated because this team is so disciplined.
Daniel Paye, a heartbreaking defeat, unlike any other for Canada at the World Junior Championship. And some of that pain would go away with an Ontario Hockey League title, and who knows, maybe a Memorial Cup crown. Guelph's not far away from having an opportunity to win it. All alone is Trudell, and Chance stayed with him. Butera collects the puck off the glass and out. Duomi and Card in their own zone, bothered by Grauweiler, who does a nice job to dig it free. Knowles kicking at it, and again, Guelph with his 3-0 advantage, just content to shoot the puck down the ice. The Memorial Cup, Kelowna, British Columbia. Well, we're going to go to commercial first, and then when we come back, we'll tell you about Sean Camp and company, because they might be headed to Kelowna. Rogers Sportsnet, once again the home of the MasterCard Memorial Cup, this time from lovely Kelowna, British Columbia. Our coverage begins on May 15th. And the Guelph Storm 13-50 away from playing in the opening game of the Memorial Cup against the host team, the Kelowna Rockets. And that city's been buzzing all year long. Prospera Place, a tremendous facility, and plain and simply, I just can't wait for May 15th. Should be a spectacular week of junior hockey. Penalty coming up And it's going to be an elbowing call against Cam Jansen.
Cam Jansen, physical again, taking his man out at every opportunity. An elbowing call for Jansen. He's usually pretty clean when he makes his hits. He doesn't try to run out of position and take somebody with flagrant elbows flying in the air or sticks up in the air. He tries to keep it pretty disciplined, but right there he got caught.
Mississauga 0 for 2 on the power play. Their second one of this period, and Kevin Klein again risks it the length of the ice. O'Sullivan, Grauweiler, Stokes, Rudisella, and Chris Bain. And the one thing you don't want to do when you're on the power play, ice the puck.
They have O'Sullivan playing on the point with Stokes. He's the one that can carry the puck, go end to end. Trying to make a pass, coming out of your own zone is very important as you come out as a unit. If guys are too far ahead, you try to stretch the passes, and therefore you miss, and there's an icing call.
Matt Ryan out of the penalty kill. He has 2 of the 3 Guelph goals. Scored those both back in the opening period. Ryan Callahan has added a power play marker, and this the third frame. O'Sullivan darts in. O'Sullivan tries to find Grauweiler, and they just fail to hook up. Butera. Quincy returns the favor. Butera out wide, and Grauweiler runs the exchange now with O'Sullivan. Butera tees it up. That's blocked by Matt Ryan, who nearly springs Paille for a shorthanded opportunity. Paille and Ryan have really played exceptionally well at both ends in this contest.
They've done it all season long, especially shorthanded. They're very efficient shorthanded. Ryan 5 goals shorthanded. Paille 4 during the regular season. These guys are really talented when they're a man down. They know how to play. They know how to position themselves in every situation all over the ice.
40 seconds to go on the power play. Adam Abraham to Sanoski. Pokes it ahead, and O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan to Pincho. Back to O'Sullivan. Sanoski, the one-timer. And Adam Dennis, cool, collected, and confident.
It's probably the best opportunity Mississauga has had on the power play all game long. They do work it low. They've got Sanoski in the crease trying to create some havoc, and he does get an opportunity. Good hard work. There's a miscommunication as Callahan was behind the net, coming out to the slot area, and for that split second, Sanoski's all alone to get a shot away.
Tom Sanoski, a big 7-point series in the opening round in the 7-game triumph over Oshawa. Trying to get his team on the board. Martin St. Pierre slides it down the ice. Goes to the bench for a change. Just 10 seconds remaining on the manpower advantage now. Time really becoming an enemy of this Mississauga team. Trailing at 3-0 and trailing the series by the same count. And now they'll find themselves shorthanded. Cross-checking is going to be the call, and that is a momentum, John Druce, of frustration.
Sanoski's not been very friendly to play against here in the third period, and he will go in and forward check, and he actually gets an elbow up on Kevin Klein deep in the offensive corner. Boom. It is the cross-check. It looked like the elbow from this position, but that one clearly shows that cross-check right up in the face of Kevin Klein.
Guelph with a power play goal in this period. Callahan from St. Pierre and Girardi, the 21-second mark. They're 1 for 2. In the series, 5 for 18. So they've made some hay in that department in this set as well. They have won the specialty teams battle in just about every other one against this up-and-coming Mississauga team that's just enjoyed a tremendous coming-out party this season under Greg Gilbert. New ownership, which includes St. Louis Blues defender Chris Pronger. If you haven't had a chance to come watch this franchise yet and you live in the Mississauga area, make sure next year you mark that into your schedule a few times. Paille with good speed, puts on the brakes as Quincy stays with him one-on-one. Carice. Matt Ryan with a pair already to Omi. To Ryan Card. Card steers it in behind the net for Paille. Paille, saucer pass, Ryan and Card. Back to Matt Ryan. Ryan, his shot attempt makes its way through Paille. Hard shot from a sharp angle, and Chance did well to stop that. And some more pushing and shoving after Brad Beer's whistle.
At least the shots are coming from outside, along the boards, along the wall. The box is keeping everything to the outside. Not a lot of freewheeling going on in that slot area, but Carice, a big, strong guy. Paille gets the shot to the net, but there's not really a lot to fight for in a loose puck situation.
Daniel Paille, the product of Welland, Ontario. Jacob Carice from the Czech Republic. They faced one another on 2 occasions of the World Junior Championship, with Team Canada winning both. And handily in both accounts in Helsinki. Butera rips it out of the boards. Grauweiler taps it out. O'Sullivan in a battle with Girardi. Girardi wins it and has the puck. He's been very solid on the back end. Good lead pass to Trudel, who just fails to corral it the way he would have liked to. Marty St. Pierre with a playoff leading 35th point, and I would think he would have to be a tremendous candidate for OHL playoff MVP honors. Klein holds it in. Callahan with 16 seconds to go on the power play. His centering pass hit Butera, and the puck makes its way to Patrick O'Sullivan, trying to dance his way through the defenders. But runs into Girardi and Klein. St. Pierre, he attended the Rangers rookie camp at the start of this season. From Embrun, Ontario, the 20-year-old. And he's no stranger, John Druce, to the Memorial Cup, as we've got another penalty coming up. Participated as a member of the host team. We'll sort out the penalty when we return. Tonight's game review brought to you by Castrol Syntec. Everything else is just motor oil. And Guelph came out, no pun intended, storming in the opening frame, and they lead it 3-0 with 9:16 to go in the third. Here's what leads to the penalty. Ryan Stokes gets his elbow up on Nico Tuomi, and Mississauga trailing by 3 find themselves shorthanded again. Guelph has connected for 1 power play goal. Matt Ryan, great work. Paille towards Ryan and Chris Curran with a nice defensive play to break that up and clear it out. Power play number 4 in the evening for Guelph. Kevin Klein to Matt Ryan. 2-goal scorer here tonight. Girardi, he has an assist in the contest. Jacob Carice. Matt Ryan. Down low and Carice with Paille. Jacob Carice. 2 big goals in game number 3 of this series. Girardi, a good hard wrist shot, and Chance made the save before Cody Bass sends it down the ice. Curran involved with Carice. Matt Ryan trying to turn away from the veteran of the IceDogs, Chris Curran. Paille leads the rush to Jacob Carice. And across the line, greeted by Butera and sent down the length by Patrick O'Sullivan. 43 seconds to go on the power play. Klein drops it off for Nico Tuomi. I'd like to have a stopwatch on the amount of ice the 4 Guelph defensemen have had in these playoffs.
Girardi, Klein, Card, and Tuomi. These guys are on the ice all the time.
Grauweiler steals, looking for his 2nd shorthanded goal of the series. And my goodness, Adam Dennis throws it into his own net. And Grauweiler does have his 2nd shorthanded goal of the series. John, I've been watching this game since I was 3. I haven't seen many like that.
It's It's a good thing he has a 2-goal cushion right now, because that would be a devastating mistake. But I was going to say that Guelph has been very cautious on this power play. Dennis has the puck under his glove. For some reason, he felt that he had to throw it to his teammate to possibly keep the puck moving. I don't know if the referee was yelling at him to keep the puck moving, to keep play going, but he just had the urge that he thought that he possibly needed to keep it going because they were on the power play.
Almost had to see it to believe it. Grauweiler, 6 of the playoffs, second short-handed goal of this series. And with 7.5 to go, maybe the break the IceDogs need. It's 3-1. Jacob Carice with 10 seconds to go on this power play. Clementi rifles it off the glass and the distance. Not exactly the way you want to give up a shutout bid.
Not at all.
But like you said, John, thank goodness it wasn't a 1-goal difference at the time.
Guelph has come out very cautious. They had the power play. They weren't trying to score a goal. Just that added goal would have helped. They kind of sat back. They weren't pressuring in the offensive zone, and just something letting up. Everybody's half a step slower right now.
Cody Bass stick handles for the line. Curran. And Girardi banks it out and into IceDogs territory. Quincy. Nifty little pass. Clementi on one difficult hop. And Dennis had to be careful with that as Klein takes care of business in front of the net.
And a bounce coming in on you is just something you don't want after a goal that you throw into your own net like that. I cannot imagine the feelings of Adam Dennis when that puck came bouncing towards him on this play. As he goes down, you can see he's trying to make sure that he has everything covered. He's not letting that biscuit go.
Can only imagine some of the emotions that are flying around in the 19-year-old netminder, and a few extra emotions now inside head coach Sean Kemp.
And if you are an IceDog right now, you got to shoot the puck, get it at him, get it towards the net. You never know what's going to happen at this moment.
O'Sullivan wins the draw. Ryan Stokes blocked by Klein, and ahead it goes to Paille. One-on-one versus Quincy. What a move by Paille! Great save by Chance. Oh, what a crossover by Paille to beat an excellent defender in Kyle Quincy. Grauweiler, O'Sullivan. He's not likely to leave the ice the rest of the game. Big rebound. Grauweiler! Knowles had a backhanded opportunity, and that deflects out of play. The IceDogs are down, but all of a sudden they've got a little life. 5:59 remaining in regulation, and one of the strangest goals you will ever see credited Lucas Grauweiler, shorthanded for the IceDogs. As Mississauga with a little life, trying to keep their slim hopes alive. But here's Trudell trying to cut it on net. Chance can't stop it. Scores! And that might put the league title away.
Trudell showed some tremendous speed coming down. I thought Stokes was going to reel him in as he was going down. It was almost a one-on-one situation. Stokes has an opportunity to skate even with him. A nice pass up the middle, and Stokes is coming, but you see Trudell at the last second give a couple pumps of his leg, just fire it to the short side under the blocker. Stokes just didn't give him enough pressure. He had too much time and too much control on the puck.
And Chance got a great deal of it. The road to Kelowna is almost paved thanks to Brett Trudell's 13th of the postseason. And the Guelph fans, and there are aplenty in attendance tonight, have started the chant of sweep, sweep.
I think the Guelph Storm, you'll see them pick up the pace a little bit. They let off it coming into this third period. This here is a good example of he'll just move the feet, a couple good hard pushes to get ahead of Stokes. Short side, keeps the puck low. It catches a blocker, but it trickles into the net.
Trudell with a big goal. Callahan, the assist. Trudell's 13th of the postseason, has very likely put this one away. George Bradley on the ice for a rare shift for Guelph. Cam Jansen, what an acquisition he's been from Windsor. And John, to get Cam Jansen, Guelph had to give up one of the best young players in the OHL in Ryan Garlock, who represented Canada recently at the World Under-18 Championship in Belarus.
They felt the presence that Jansen had to bring into this team. They needed that physical presence on this team, and he's provided it game in, game out in the locker room. They had to have it. They have a lot of depth in this team. They could afford to get rid of Garlock.
Pass Shane Hart. This is a time where maybe head coach Sean Kemp gives some of his less used players an opportunity. And I think they're starting to get the trophy ready. There it is. The J. Ross Robertson Cup, last awarded to the Guelph Storm under George Burnett's tutelage back in 1998. The Storm went on that year to Spokane, Washington, advanced to the Memorial Cup final, only to lose 4-3 in overtime to the Portland Winterhawks on a Bobby Russell goal, 6:21 into the extra frame. Chris Madden, with his semi-final performance in goal for Guelph and his final performance, in which I believe Guelph faced 56 shots in each of those two games, some of the best Memorial Cup goaltending anyone has ever seen. And Brett Trudell is into it right here with Ryan Stokes, who Trudell was able to fight off and beat David Chance for the fourth goal.
Well, Stokes is again battling with Trudell. He got beat on the last one-on-one battle as a goal was scored. This time he's not going to let him get through. A lot of pride in this young player, Stokes. He plays physical, he's played hard with an edge. There's just frustration now on the part of the Ice Dogs.
Well, they've had such an unbelievable run, knocking off St. Mike's in 6 games. They were down 3-2 in the second round, going to Barrie for game 6, found a way to win that night, and then came back for game 7 here and won that contest. But have run into a juggernaut. Such a tremendous Western Conference. The balance of power this year definitely in the West. And Guelph showing just that here in the OHL's Championship Series, as they are 343 away from becoming the first team to sweep the league final since the Windsor Spitfires in 1988.
Sean Kemp was impressed with this Mississauga IceDog team coming in. They knew they had some stars, but it was the young guys that they were impressed with, like Cody Bass, Lucas Grauweiler, Adam Abraham, Chad Payshow, and the goaltender, David Chance.
A minute and a half to go in this Guelph power play, and let's face it, John, the Ryan Callahan early power play goal, a huge one as well here, 21 seconds into the third period. Jansen hits the goal post. Caromed off a skate, hit Chance, hit the post, and somehow stays up.
Jansen showing a little bit of technique with the feet as well. That puck came out. Almost a kicking motion to get, it was a stick, the back of the stick. He moved his foot at the last second as well, gets it over to the side of the net. It was a pretty close call.
Ooh, close indeed.
He eventually dug it out of the net, but I think the whistle had blown.
Girardi. Mick Okerzik, his first shift of the game, shoots it wide. O'Sullivan, short-handed in front of the net, trying to find Rick Coghill, and Dennis dives on the loose puck as we're down to 3:08 to go.
Dennis is not going to be letting any loose pucks come out. No rebounds, no second shots. Any opportunity to cover that puck up, he is going to have that in his glove, and he's not giving it away. And you just know that O'Sullivan is going to be sniffing around, looking for a good shot on net to score a goal.
Adam Dennis really coming into his own in his second full season. First really as a starter, and especially in the London series. He was worth his weight in gold. Shane Hart had it cleared off his stick by Coghill. Okrzyk and Girardi. Finds Daniel Paille and then chopped by Girardi into IceDog territory. 4-1, Guelph came out gunning in the opening period. They had 12 of the first 13 shots of the game. Matt Ryan scored 2 opening period goals, his 7th and 8th of the playoffs. A real physical second period with no goals scored. And then the early power play goal by Ryan Callahan, his 13th. One of the strangest goals you'll ever see by Lucas Grauweiler, thrown in to his own net by Adam Dennis. Gave Mississauga a little life here in the third, but then the Trudell goal, his 13th of the playoffs, pretty much icing it. And the countdown is well underway now for Guelph. Jansen scores!
Cam Jansen rewarded with some work going to the net and a puck jumping right out on his stick. He had an opportunity a few minutes ago, did not go in. This play here, hard work by Kyle Spur just to get it out to the slot area. Jansen finishes it off.
And never shy on attitude. A little wave to the crowd, but he's waving at his own fans because, as you can tell by every goal that's scored by Guelph, the Storm supporters enjoying every second of it. 5-1. The sweep's about to be complete, and the Kelowna Rockets can really start their preparation for the Guelph Storm because they'll meet the opening Saturday of the Memorial Cup a week from Saturday on May 15th. And here at Rogers Sportsnet, we'll be there to bring you all the action. Gatineau, 1 win away from the Quebec League title. The Medicine Hat Tigers with a chance this evening to wrap up the Western Hockey League crown. Ryan Kitchen, a blocker save made by David Shantz. Cam Jansen's third of the postseason from Kyle Spur at 18:07, the last scoring play.
Jansen's so excited. Just a great person to have on the team. He's always yapping, gets his teammates motivated. It takes a lot of chemistry for guys this age to come together. You have to have guys that are motivators, guys that are focused. Everybody on this team is focused. They all play for each other very hard.
Okrzyk holds it into the line. Ryan Stokes moving ahead. He'll tee up the big shot and way up. They cut down the angle and make the save as Adam Dennis as we're into the last minute of the Ontario Hockey League season. The Guelph Storm that far away from winning the Ontario Hockey League Championship.
You can see by Mississauga's look on their face, they just didn't have enough to do it against this team. They did not get enough shots in each game. Tonight's the most shots they had with 21. They've been outshot by over 38 in every. They've been outshot with 38 shots against every game. They just didn't have enough in them. They worked so hard to get to this point, and it's unfortunate. All these young guys deserve some gratification.
And the fans standing here in Mississauga. The season about to wrap up, and it will do so with the Guelph Storm, a franchise record 49 wins during the regular season, about to win the Ontario Hockey League title. Okrzyk, his shot, Shantz kicked it to the corner, loose at the side of the net. Moving up, Kitchen and Shantz into the corner, and let's leave it to the fans. The Guelph Storm are the Ontario Hockey League champions, and they're bound for the Memorial Cup in Kelowna, British Columbia, and the celebration is underway. Greg Gilbert is has done a tremendous job. David Chance, what a first year in the league, the highly sought-after goaltender. He'll go very high in this year's NHL draft. The IceDogs, John, you put it best earlier in the year when you said a couple of years ago they go from 11 wins to their first league championship. But this Guelph Storm team pulled together to win that first round series against Owen Sound. They were definitely true value for knocking off a London team that, frankly, I thought had a great chance to capture the title. They knocked London off in their building in that series 3 different times after the Knights had only lost 3 games all year at the John Labatt Center. And Sean Kemp, what a tremendous job he's done in leading this team with the likes of Paul Bridges. Paul Bridges was a captain of the Memorial Cup champion Guelph team back in 1986. And certainly nothing to be ashamed of if you're a member of the Mississauga IceDogs. This organization has come so far.
Nobody expected them to be here in the finals. They had a good season. They improved all season long. But nobody thought that they had the depth to get into this position. They have to be proud of themselves for what they've achieved. They have young guys that have stepped up. Greg Gilbert has done a tremendous job in this organization. Everybody from the top floor down is committed to getting a good product on the ice, and they've shown how good they are. But this Guelph Storm team, they are very talented, very deep, probably one of the best teams I've seen play in a long time, a team game. And the way they played throughout these playoffs, they deserve every inch of what they've gained here today.
And they'll be tough to beat in Kelowna. I don't think there's any question that they'll have an excellent opportunity to help the Ontario Hockey League defend its Memorial Cup title, won last year by a tremendous team from Kitchener that captured the crown in Quebec City.
But Peter, this is going to be a great Memorial Cup. Kelowna's returning. They have experience. Gatineau is doing great. They won 8-3 against Moncton the other night, outscoring them tremendously. They have some talented teams returning to the Memorial Cup, as well as Guelph. And possibility, you said again tonight, Medicine Hat is going to be there.
And Medicine Hat, a high-scoring team in the Western Hockey League. I really think it has a chance to be one of the finest Memorial Cups in quite some time. And there have been many as the two teams shake hands at center ice after battling one another for 4 games. But in the end, John, Guelph simply too much for this up-and-coming Mississauga team.
I think what it boiled down to is they had a lot more depth and a lot more experience on their roster. They had some skill on Mississauga, but Guelph just could roll 4 lines. They had 4 solid defensemen that played all game long. How can you beat that?
Daniel Paillet, the champion, he was a member of the Guelph team that participated in the 2002 Memorial Cup as the host. Marty St. Pierre, probably the playoff MVP, 35 points for this 20-year-old. And he is indeed, it's just been made official, he is the Ontario Hockey League playoff MVP.
Terrific season Marty St. Pierre had as well. He deserved it. He kept his pace going through the regular season as well as the playoffs. The key guy on this team that every team has to watch out for when they play against him.
110 points, 3rd in league scoring for St. Pierre during the regular season, now donning the OHL Champions hat, and look at all the smiles. And certainly some tears shed by this Mississauga team, but once again, what a tremendous run. Patrick O'Sullivan, an opportunity to come back again next year as a 19-year-old. Greg Gilbert, fantastic job leading this team to a final. And Captain Dan Rudisella and the likes of himself and Ryan Stokes. And these are the nights, John, that are hard to swallow because their junior careers have come to an end.
I agree with that totally, Peter.
Patrick O'Sullivan will play junior another day, but his team won't this season. Guelph are the champions of the Ontario League, and we'll be back for the trophy presentation after this. Cam Jansen and the Guelph Storm are the champions of the Ontario Hockey League. They win game number 4, 5-1 to complete a series sweep for the OHL Championship final. And the Storm supporters out in full force in an opposing rink. Marty St. Pierre, the playoff MVP, and I think we're getting pretty close to presenting, first off, the playoff MVP award, a Wayne Gretzky trophy, the 99, of course, symbolizing that. And there's the gentleman that's about to receive that particular trophy, thanks to 35 postseason points. Another assist in the championship clincher here this evening. Let's turn it over now to the public address announcer.
Gretzky, number 99 award to the most valuable player of the OHL playoffs, and the J. Ross Robertson Cup, emblematic of the championship of the Ontario Hockey League.
Thank you very much. First of all, this past hockey season has been arguably the most successful, certainly extremely competitive and exciting in the history of the Ontario Hockey League. And one of the real highlights was to see the emergence in just their 6th year, the Mississauga IceDogs capturing the Hockey League. And his partner Chris Cronger, as owners, to general manager Ken Cook, coach Greg Gilbert and his staff, and most important, the players and all you fans of the IceDogs, thank you for a great year. In 1999, when the Great One retired, the Ontario Hockey League, recognizing one of our esteemed graduates, created our playoff MVP, the Wayne Gretzky 99 Award. This year, I am most pleased and proud to present it to a member of the Guelph Storm. He is the overage player of the year in the Ontario Hockey League.
St. Pierre, as Dave Branch just alluded to, what a run in the postseason. 35 points. John, 9 of those points coming in the big victory. Let's face it, take nothing away from Mississauga, but the two best teams in this league this year squared off in the Western Conference Final. It went 7, London and Guelph came out victorious.
No question about it, and the London Knights did say that one of the guys they had to keep an eye on was Marty St. Pierre. And it just didn't work. He just keeps on going. He's got that work ethic.
Now for the presentation of the championship trophy.
3 points in the regular season, 16 victories in the playoffs. This will represent their 4th appearance in the MasterCard Memorial Cup in the last 9 years. To the city of Guelph, all the fans, General Manager Dave Barr, Sean Kemp, Paul Bridges, Jason Brooks, Shane Beatty, Rusty, my good buddy, the ownership, and especially to the players, congratulations on a great year. Enjoy it. See you later.
The co-captains, Marty St. Pierre, Nico Tuomi will wear the captain's C in Kelowna when Guelph is the home team and wears its white jerseys. And they accept the J. Ross Robertson Cup, emblematic of the Ontario Hockey League Championship. And the Storm can make their plane reservations for Kelowna.
I like the way St. Pierre waited for Tuomi to come out and accept it with him. He wasn't greedy. He shows that it's a team effort, and the co-captain has to be there as well. Nicely done.
The Storm with a sweep. Sean Kemp, tremendous job. And the thing that I've really noticed about him in the postseason, John, is he's so positive behind the bench. He's always over to tap his players after good efforts, and you can tell he really believes in positive reinforcement.
It goes a long way with young players, showing confidence in them, congratulating when they do well, teach them when they don't do things so well, and you can see that that positive reinforcement just boils over to the whole team and the rest of the coaching staff to see it as well.
Cam Jansen accepting the championship trophy. Boy, oh boy, is he happy now after coming over in a deadline day trade from the Windsor Spitfires. There's Jacob Parise in his first year, the product of the Czech Republic. He had some huge goals, including a game winner in the opening game against London in the Western Conference Final. Brett Trudell tied for the team lead in goals with 13, along with Ryan Callahan. Defenseman Ryan Card came over from Peterborough. He's been a tremendous acquisition. And John, to win a championship, and let's not forget about Kevin Klein, who played almost out of his mind with 21 points after a 29-point regular season. Russ Hammond, the outstanding equipment manager, who also held down that same role this year in Helsinki with Team Canada. Jim Rooney in the ownership. And it's quite a day for the Guelph Storm, who 2 years ago participated as the host team, finished fourth, and now they'll enter the Memorial Cup, the MasterCard Memorial Cup, as the champions, and they will certainly have a good shot at winning the showcase of Canadian Major Junior Hockey.
Sean Kemp done such a terrific job since taking over this team. He has experience. He's been to the Memorial Cup before. And you can just see how happy and proud he is of his team.
Sean Kemp was an assistant coach of the Hull Olympique when they won the 1997 Memorial Cup under Claude Julien. There's assistant coach Brooks. And there's the captain of the 1986 Guelph Platers that captured the Memorial Cup in Portland, Oregon, when they beat Luc Robitaille and the rest of the Hull Olympique 6-2 in the championship final that year.
I won't forget the 86 year. That was the year we had a good team.
I know you won't.
We did not make it. Kudos to the Guelph team at that year because they were fantastic. They did a terrific job representing the league.
Well, the good news for Guelph and us at Rogers Sportsnet and the MasterCard Memorial Cup crew, the fun has just begun. Opening day of the Memorial Cup, the Kelowna Rockets will face the Guelph Storm in the tournament opener. And what an opener it will be. Yes, the party's underway in Guelph. The Storm are the champions of the OHL. For John Druce and our entire Sportsnet crew, thanks for joining us from Mississauga.